got somebody. Ah. Well, that happens every once in a while. But don't worry. This is absolutely waterproof. At least I hope. How do you sell a product? Now, I'm asking you, the one scrolling or clicking on the video. How do you sell a product? Better yet, how do you want a product marketed towards you? I prefer seeing something in action. I don't really fall for the ads that say, well, your friends will like you or you look attractive, because I know that's a lie. What if a company, however, was selling a product that they didn't even know they were selling? Retevis has been kind enough to send me radios before. The first time, they sent 2 radios that were GMRS radios. I did a review of those, and we got 3.1 miles, which is surprising because of how many hills are around here. Last year, they sent these FRS radios, which I still have here. You think FRS, you think Spider-Man Walkie Talkie from the toy store, but these are actually pretty great radios. Very thin and rechargeable batteries. You don't have to worry about 9 volts or anything like that. I did a range test on those. I don't really remember where it is on my channel, but it's called the RB39 FRS radio by Retevis. Now, this is what they sent me today. You see the difference there? They look the same, but not the same. So I really don't know why this has an entirely different name on it. It does, however, say Retevis in the box. And I wonder if that's why this little mistake has happened. You see, I will show you something that they didn't intend to actually have on this radio. It could be that Alluance, or however you pronounce that, and Retevis are part of an umbrella corporation. Maybe Alluance is another brand they sell under. Anyways, let's open this up and I'll show you. It also says Alluance on the manual, but it says Retevis on the cable you use to set up your channels. The radio itself says Alluance. Before I get to the radio, let's go over what you get. Now, they sent me a dock right here, which is actually pretty nice. It charges quite quickly and holds a charge, and it's pretty heavy duty. I like it. I like it a lot. You get a strap. It's nylon, so you can, nylon it around your wrist or something like that so you don't drop it, you clumsy butterfinger bastard. Anyways, you get a USB cable for your dock and the clip so you can, clip it on things. Now, the one thing they didn't send was a wall wart, which I had a Motorola wall wart anyway. I imagine they must have assumed I'd have one, and I did. So you'll probably get one. Let's get to the radio. Let's see what it should have, and let's see what it shouldn't have. All right, let me go ahead and turn this thing on. I'll show you what it does. So to turn on right here, it does pop up the brand name, Alluance or whatever, how you want to say it. We have 2 different channel functions here, so we can actually hit the scan and go to either one. Channel 50, whatever you want to set up. See, the great part about this is that you don't actually have to use the programming cable. For instance, this repeater here, the top, is one I've set up on this radio itself using the menu functions. That is listening to the repeater right now. If anyone comes through, then I'll hear them. Now, the menu button, radio setting, zone setting, channel setting, scan setting, signaling, emergency, call tone, and FM radio. And I guess you can just kind of go through the radio stations, which I can't actually leave on for very long because I will get in trouble with YouTube if I play an FM radio on here. And weather setting, factory reset. You can also change the channels on the top. We can go to that top channel and change that. So what we can essentially do is have 2 different channels set up at one time that we're listening to. And if anyone comes on either one of those repeaters, I'll hear them and I can reply back to them with my call sign. It's sort of like ham radio in a way. It's just you don't have to take any tests, but you do have to pay for the license. That is important to remember. I know what you're asking yourself, mister. What if I want to talk to my kid on their Spider-Man Walkie Talkie? Well, luckily it's set up for FRS channels, bandwidth restrictions, and power levels. Out of the box. Yeah. Well, yeah. Little to do. I'm not. Hey, look, we got somebody. Ah, fuck. Well, that happens every once in a while. But don't worry. This is absolutely waterproof. At least I hope. Aha! Ha! Good shit. Speaker sounds a little funny. Probably all that water.
Bring your favorite holiday classics
Hey,
to
it's
life.
got a button. You can turn the radio on with it.
Silent Night and an
Nice. And it's scanning while you're listening to the radio.
taking to new holiday.
It's actually waterproof. I didn't even expect it. I figured it would just destroy it, but it was for science. Well, they claimed it was waterproof. I have to do a review. I mean, come on. And drop resistant. Very drop resistant. Tough stuff, Retevis. It would take me over an hour to go over all the features on this radio and show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the feature summary, and then at the end of the video, just in case you pick this radio up without a manual, I'm going to leave all the pages of the manual at the end of the video so you don't have to worry about trying to find it online.
Alright, we have 30 GMRS channels, up to 250 custom channels, 136 to 174 megahertz, 400 and 480 megahertz receive only. NOAA weather channels, you might call that NOWA, but we call it NOAA. FM radio, standard CT, CSS, and DCS tones, splitting those tones. Selectable high-low TX power, transmit power. Channel scan, priority scan. Selectable wide, narrow bandwidth. Color backlit display, 1.77, I imagine that's inches. Channel name, number, and frequency display. Yes, you can change the channel name. I have the repeater in there that I've set up personally for me is named, I think, MALIN or something like that. That reminds me where the repeater is. Backlit keypad, busy channel lockout, low battery alert, 2 programmable function keys. The IP67 is waterproof. That's the actual radio. And, of course, a 2800 milliamp hour Type-C charging battery. Okay, that's kind of weirdly worded.
All right, now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. When I first started the video, I told you that there was something on this radio was not supposed to be there. Now I have to do research for my channel, research for the videos that I'm doing, and I have to cover my ass so that someone doesn't contact the FCC and get my videos taken down, because yes, it can happen. But if you know anything at all about GMRS, which Retevis does, I'm just going to go ahead and show you, and if you don't know anything about it, I'll describe it later. But if you do, this will surprise you. Well now, if you don't know anything about radios, that probably didn't look very impressive. That is illegal. That's not supposed to happen. You should not be able to take that antenna off. In fact, I will post it on the screen. Retevis on their website says they'll never sell a radio with a detachable antenna because the FCC deems that illegal to do. You notice I haven't transmitted on this. Well now, I'll have to get a hold of Retevis, and don't blame Retevis. I'm sure it was an honest mistake. You know, don't blame Retevis, guys. And we do not want anyone, you know, taking the antenna off and building bigger antennas. By the way, the link is in the description. Now, I will get a hold of Retevis. I'm sure it's no big deal. I'll let them know, and I'm sure they'll maybe update the model or something like that. Who knows, but HA1G is the model. Like I said, it might take a little while to get a hold of them. You know, but I will make sure that they know. Like I said, you know, we don't want people using antennas other than what's on there for the radio. Anyways, all right, so there it is. What do you think? Yes, it's a nice radio. It's Johnny Jones. I'm here at home, and I'll see you later. She packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse out there alone. And Mars ain't the kind of place to raise a kid.